Share your phone. Don't share your phone. I'm just wait. Let's just before sharing. We have to do this one. Advanced sharing options. On the host tab. And we have to manage participants. Okay, guys. Good morning. Good morning, all. Last week, okay. Okay. Please, all of you, as a form of attendance, you're expected to type in your names as attendants, please. So please type in your names so I can see those that are available. Type in your names. I want to see your names, please. Okay? Type in your names. I want to see your names. All right, please, I want to see your names. Your names. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well done. Well done. Thank you very much. You can keep typing in the names while we look at good morning, all. Good morning, all. Thank you for typing your names. Let's do a short revision on what we talked about last week. We talked about Nigeria as a federation, and we said federalism or federation means the bringing together of what? Small states into what? A single strong state. That was what we said. Then we looked at the history of true federalism as dated back as 1954 with Littleton's constitution to the last one, which is the creation of 36 states in Abuja, created by our past presidents. Now, after that, we talked about the power of federal, state, and local government, where we talked about the exclusive list, residual list, and the concurrent list. This is an error here. The third one is the concurrent list, okay? Then we talked about the need for federation. Why do we need a federation? We said for national integration, for unity in diversity, controlling the activities of the state, and fear of insecurity, economic consideration, and administrative efficiency. That was what we talked about. Now, we now looked at the characteristics. Another word for characteristics that I always tell you is the features, the properties of a federation. And we looked at sharing of power between the central and state government, and we talked about states have constitutionally defined control of their affairs, down to there's always two chambers of legislature, where I said we have the unicameral legislature and the bicameral legislature, and we also talked about the green chamber and the red chamber, where we talk about the upper legislative house and the lower legislative house, otherwise known as the House of Senate and House of Representatives. And we forged ahead to what? Their relationships. Relationship between the federal, state, and local government. We talked about performance of functions according to the constitutional provisions. They have powers to legislate, and they have their forms of governance. And we head to assignment. How many of you did your assignment? Please signify. How many of you did your assignment? How many of you did your assignment? Thank you, Salma. How many of you signify, please? How many of you raise your hand so I can see? Raise your hand so I can see. For those that did their assignment, raise your hand. Raise your hand, please. Signify if you did my assignment. Signify. Thank you very much for doing the assignment. Was it difficult? Was the assignment difficult? Was it difficult? Was it difficult? No. Yes. Okay, some said, Bright always said he has not submitted. Try to submit so I can mark, okay? Somebody said, Awesu said it was difficult. No, it wasn't. Yeah, okay, it wasn't difficult. Thank you very much. All right. Now we talked about the difference between the major difference among the three tiers of government. So today we are going to be talking about what? Today we are going to be talking about the arms of government. The arms of government. Sorry, you cannot speak. I muted it so you cannot speak. I can only see you and you can listen to me. If you have a question, please kindly type on the chat box so I'll see. Okay. You send it via email. Okay. Now let's start with today's class. Today we are going to be talking about the arms of government. But before we start with the topic arms of government, we are going to be looking at, or we must know what government is. Government is an institution of a state. Who can remind me of what I meant by the word state? Yes, just type your answer, please. Who can remind me of what I said a state was? Yes, who can remind me? The meaning of state. Who can remind me the meaning of state? I said another name for state is what? Who can remind us? Type it in. Who can remind us? Yes, you can. Halima Amuda, you can write. A country. Yes, thank you very much. I said a state is a country. A state is a country. A state is a nation. A state is what? A nation. Okay? Thank you very much. Now, government is an institution of the state that makes laws and enforce them in a given state. Now, what we say institution, we are talking about a part, an organization, a formation in a state that makes the laws and enforce them. That is, they make the laws of what we should do, and that is our right, our responsibilities as citizens of a state or as a government, and they enforce these laws. That is, they make sure these laws are followed correctly. Okay, so that is what a government is. Now let's look at the arms of government here. Under the arms of government, we have three major arms of government. We have the executive arm, the legislative arm, and the judicial arm. We have three major types arms of government: executive, legislative, and judicial arm. Okay, now we are going to pick the first one, the legislative arm. These are elected persons whose main duty is to make laws. Who can give me an example of a member of the legislature, a member of the legislative house? Who can give me an example? I'm looking at your chat here. Who can tell us? You cannot hear me? All right. No, we'll do the revision, please. So I'll get back to the previous slide. Don't worry, you have the chance to copy. But who can give me an example of a legislator here? Someone that works in the House of Legislature. Who is that person? Type in your answers. The president? No. Aisha Hassan? No. The president? No. Who can give me an example? Another trial, please. Everybody type in your answer. Let's see. Type in your answer. Let's see, please. Senators. Thank you very much, Nifishe. Senators. They are the ones that are what? Voted in to represent us and to make the laws of the land. Now let's look at some of their functions. They make laws, okay? All the laws we follow in our country today are made by the House of Legislature, otherwise known as the legislative arm of government. That is, they sit down and make these laws. And another function they carry out is financial control. How do they do this financial control? Through what? Appropriations, through approval of budgets. When the president writes his budget, he has to take it to the House for what? For presentation and defense. When he takes the budget for presentation and defense, it needs to be approved. If it's not approved, it cannot be passed into law. Then another function of the House of Legislature is what? Control of activities. They take or keep check on all the activities of government officials as well as their own members too. They control the activities of the country. Then they approve appointment, okay? In every organizations, in every government organization, there's what they call appointment of ministers, appointment of board of directors, appointment of commissioners, and the like. It is the duty of the House of Representatives, the House of the legislative arm, to do what? To approve these budgets or to approve these appointments. That is, for example, your prefectship screening in NTIC, you go to the disciplinary committee with the presence of the vice principals and the DC members. They sit down and ask you questions. They quiz you and ask you, should you be given the post of the head boy or the head girl or the vice principal, or the assistant head boy, assistant head girl, or the library prefect or the hostel prefect? How do you intend carrying out your responsibility, okay? After you have proven to them that you are fit for the job, you will be what? Approved to be appointed. The same thing our ministers, when they are nominated to become ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they go to the House of Legislature to defend themselves. At times they can ask some questions like asking them to sing the national anthem, asking them to sing the national pledge, asking them to quote the Constitution, asking them of their secondary school education, even primary school education. They ask them all these questions, and if they are proven well, they prove themselves, they will be approved for appointment of the federal capital, okay? That does not mean after appointment they cannot be checked. Through the control of activities, they will check the activities, and if they are found wanting, they may be fired, they may be sacked, okay? They have, the fifth one is they have power of impeachment. Who can tell me the meaning of the word impeachment? Who can tell us the meaning of the word impeachment? Type it in, please. Who can tell us the meaning of the word impeachment? Impeachment, who can tell us? Impeachment. Yes, impeachment. Impeachment. Removal. Yes, removal. To remove someone from office. To remove someone from office, okay? That is impeachment, okay? To get fired, to take away, to dispose of someone, to remove the person from office, okay? Thank you very much. Now, when they have the power to impeach even the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if he's found wanting, like what Donald Trump is facing today, is facing an impeachment charge. That is, if he's found wanting, he transacts his activities against the norms and code of conduct of a public officer, he can be impeached, removed from office in a legal way. Okay, someone put coup d'etat. Coup d'etat is an illegal way, either by force, which may lead to death, or otherwise. Okay, that is what it means. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, the second one is the executive. This is the arm of government, what? Responsible for enforcing the laws made by the legislature. After the legislature have passed this law pass the bill into law, it is the function of the executive to receive it and what? Enforce the laws made by the legislature, that to follow it up. Some of the functions or members of the executive are what? The governors And who can tell me another member of executive that we know? Please type in your answers. I'm looking at you. Type in your answers. Type in your answers. President, yes, thank you very much. Who else? Who else? Who else? A member of the executive who can tell us? Yes, type in your answers. Other members, minister, the governor, the deputy governor, yes. Yes, well done. Well done. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Then functions of the functions of the executive. A good example of the function of executive is enforcement of the law. After the law, as I've said, has been passed by the Senate, by our legislature, the executive has the responsibility of making sure these laws are carried out. That is enforcement of the law. Then they formulate policies, government policies, so to speak. At home, we have our own policies too. When daddy comes back from work and he puts his, you know that whenever daddy comes back from work, he goes straight to CNN to listen to news. The same thing is the policy of your house, and there's nothing you can do. The same thing, the government or the executive formulate policy, okay? The maintenance of law and order. They maintain the law and order. They call them the chief security officers of a state or a nation. That is, they are the ones, the number one man. Our state governors are the chief security officer of our state, while the president is the chief security officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. After that, we have budgeting. You see, for every executive to function, to work after we have voted him or her in, he needs to work, carry out his duty with the help of resources. Some of these resources involve man and material resources. But in this context, we are talking about what? The material resources, which involves money. So therefore, it is the duty of the executive to draw out his budget. This is what I want to do this year. I want to construct bridges. I want to fix our roads. I want to build schools. I want to build houses. I want to drill boreholes. I want to build new railway stations and the like. It is through the budget. How much is he going to spend for that year? That is what the budget is all about. Therefore, he draws out his budget. After drawing out his budget, writes it down, he takes it to the House of Representatives, the House of Senate, to defend it. This is what I want to do. Please approve this budget. And they look at it. Okay, why is this like this? And after approval, the money will be released for him to carry out his duty as expected of him. Okay? All right? Then appointment of top officials. It is the duty of the executive to appoint their officials, those that will work for them. For example, ministers, directors, commissioners, SA to the governor, special advisor to the president, the chief of staff, and the like. It is the duty of the president or the governor or the executive to approve and appoint them after approval from the House of Senate. Then they work on the development of the country. It is the duty of the executive to work for the development of the nation. Okay? Construction of roads, building of schools, building of bridges, building of hospitals, and the like. It is the duty and responsibility of the executive with the amount or the money allocated to him from the budget. Okay? Now let's look at what the judiciary, the judicial arm of government. Now, the judicial arm of government, as we can see here, is the arm of government and responsible. This is the arm of government responsible for the interpretation of the laws. Okay, settling of cases and punishing lawbreakers. Who can give me a typical example of the judiciary? Type in your answers. It's open for typing. A typical example of the judiciary: the court of law, the police, the judge. Yes, thank you. Who else? Lawyers. Thank you very much. Who can tell us their all places where they work, where you can find them? Tell me, please. Type in your answers where the judicial arm of government can be found. The court of law. Yes, they can be found in the court of law. Please kindly tell us who can tell. Yes, I can see Supreme Court here. Of course, they work in the Supreme Court. Who can tell us the type of court we have? I can see Supreme Court. We have appeal court. Which one again? Type it in. The types of courts we have in Nigeria. Appeal court, yes. Who else? Who else? Apex court. The apex court is the Supreme Court. That's the highest court. Who else? State High Court, yes. Magistrate court and the like. Okay, thank you. Well done. Clap for yourselves. Well done, well done, well done. Now, functions of the judiciary. One, they interpret the law. That is, the way you see the law is totally different from the way a lawyer will see the law. Constitutionally, the law is different. For example, someone offends you and you fight back. It's wrong according to the face of the law. What is expected of you is to report the case and let the person be arrested or detained or otherwise. Where an individual commits an offense in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, according to the Constitution, for example, a person kills somebody, the person can never be called a criminal. He can only be called a suspect when he's arrested. He's a suspected murderer according to the Constitution. It is after that person has gone to the court and he has been proven guilty according to the law in a competent court, that person is hereby regarded as what? A criminal as at that time. And when he's regarded as a criminal, he becomes a convict. That is, he has been sentenced to jail. Then he becomes a convict. Okay? That is what the law says, interpretation of the law. Then settlement of disputes. Yes, our judicial system settles disputes, not only within individuals. State and two different states can fight over a plot of land. Even countries can fight over land, and they can fight over resources, okay, like oil and the likes. So therefore, the Supreme Court, even the International Court of Justice, can help in settling disputes among countries. Then punishment of offenders. Yes, a lot of people commit offenses. For example, in NTIC, when you are taken to disciplinary committee after committing an offense, you are taken to disciplinary committee, that is your court, and they pass the judgment upon you. If you are found guilty, they punish you according to the Constitution. The same thing in the larger society that happened. Then judicial review. As the law is coming, there is refining of the law. The law develops every day. So therefore, they review their activity. Then safeguarding the rights and freedom of citizens. Every individual has rights. So therefore, the judiciary, through what? With the use of the Constitution and the court of law, safeguard the rights and freedom of citizens. Now, who can remind us? Let's take a recap of the three arms of government. Type in your answer. What are the three arms of government we have discussed so far? What are the three arms of government we have discussed so far? What are the three arms of government we have discussed so far? Type in your answers. The three arms of government we have discussed: executive, judiciary. Yes, thank you very much. Thumbs up, all of you. Thumbs up. I give you thumbs up. Well done. Now, we are going to forge ahead. We are going to forge ahead. We are going to forge ahead. Now, functions of the and powers of the government. After we have talked about the three arms of government, those are the machineries the government use in carrying out their functions, okay? Those are the machineries they use in carrying out their function. Now, let's look at, thank you very much. Let's look at what the functions Let's look at the functions of the arms of government. Let's look at the functions. One, functions and power of government. One is lawmaking. The government make laws, bearing in mind that the three arms of government make up the government. So one is they make law, okay? The second one is maintenance of law and order. The third one is defense of the country. The fourth is creation of job opportunities. The fifth is protection of lives and property. The sixth is maintenance of external relations. Then the seventh is administration of justice. And the eighth is political duty. Okay? Now, all said and done, looking at this slide here, I want you to group, are you listening? I want you to group the three arms of government according to this function. Which function belong to which arm of government? Type in your answers now. The functions, which arm of government carries out the functions I've displayed here? Group them for us, let's see. Group them for us. Lawmaking, legislature, yes, yes. Maintenance of law and order is what? For which function? Who carries out that function? Maintenance of law and order, that's the next one. The executive, yes. Defense of the country. Defense of the country now. Who defends the country? Defense of the country, yes, the executive. Creation of job opportunity. Creation of job opportunity. Who does that? Yes. Protection of lives and property. Who does that? Protection of lives and property. Who does that? Maintenance of external relations. Who does that? Maintenance of external relations. That's number 6. Who carries out that function? Maintenance of external relations. You are getting it wrong. Maintenance of external relations. Who carries out that function? No, number 6. The executive carries out the function of maintenance of external relations. Then number 7, administration of justice. Who carries out that duty? Administration of justice. The judiciary carries out the function. Then political duty. Political duty. Number 8. Number 8, political duty. Political duty, the executive. Thank you very much. Okay, well done, well done, well done. Thumbs up for all of you, well done. Now, I am going to do a revision of what we have done today, and I'm going to ask you individually, okay? Now, Hamida Popola, can you define, Hamida? Hamida?
Sir?
Yeah, can you define government for me, please? Hamida, define government for me. All right, who can define government for me? Raise your hand. Jamil, you want to define it? Nod your head. Who wants to define? Shogbamu Abdullahi, define government for us.
Government is a group of people.
Huh?
Government is a group of people who make laws. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. We are listening.
Make laws and execute laws.
Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. Who can tell us the 3 arms of government?
Sir, I know.
Tell us. Okay,
Legislative.
let's ask someone else. Tell me one arm of government. Okay, tell me.
Legislative.
The legislative arm of government, yes. Who else? Who else? Halima Amuda. Halima Amuda. Yes, tell us.
Executive.
The executive, well done. And Jamil Oderinu. Yes.
Judiciary.
The judiciary. Who can give me the function of the executive? One function. One function of the executive. Raise your hand, please, if you want. Halima. Function of the executive. Halima. Daniel. Function of the executive.
Political duty.
Political duties. Well done. The legislature. Who can give me a function of the legislature? A function of the legislative arm. Yes, Iman Lawal. Iman Lawal.
Making law.
Making laws. Thank you. Who are those that work under the legislative arm of government? Who are those that work there? Who are those that work under the legislative arm of government? Abdul Latif. Who are those we can find under the legislative arm of government? All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Now your assignments, your homework. Here's your homework. Here's your homework. State 5 reasons for checks and balances in government. Hello? State 5 reasons for the checks and balances in government. Is that taken? Then identify 5 importance of the maze. Not maze now, maze. Maze. Okay? Thank you very much, David and Daniel. I really appreciate it. Oh, you've been given this assignment before. Oh, that's nice. I expected to do it again. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay. Oh, he taught you last week. I wasn't here last week. I remember. Yeah. Not bye-bye. Salma Ibrahim, not bye-bye. Yes. Any questions so far? Is there anything you don't understand? Let me explain. Is there anything you don't understand? Okay. Iman said no. Who else? All right. Thank you very much. I still have time. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Omena, there are no other arms of government. We have the legislative, executive, and the judicial arm of government, okay? Yes, Halima has a question. All right, I'll explain that. Halima, you have a question. Ask your question. Halima Amuda, ask your question. Halima. Halima, ask your question. Farida, do you have any question? Okay, I'm listening. Ask.
Explain
not handled by the three arms of government.
Come again, please.
Can you explain what is expected by the three arms of government?
Okay, under the executive, I stated if you see the functions, those are their jobs. Okay? The executive arm here, as we can see, the executive arm is responsible for enforcement of the law. They formulate policies, okay? They maintain law and order. They prepare the budget. They appoint top officials and develop the country and other functions, okay? So all functions of the three arms, executive, legislative, and the judicial arm, they are their work, their job duties, okay? Is that taken?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Salma Ibrahim, any question?
Yes, sir.
What is the question?
Sir, let's say a policeman wants to become the legislative. He has what it takes to be the legislative, but the legislative, they don't want him to become policeman.
For a policeman to become a member of the House of Legislature, right? That is,
Yes.
he wants to become a senator, right? He has to resign his position first as a civil servant. Do you understand? He has to resign the civil service position he's holding as a policeman, contest an election, win the election, and become a member of the House of Senate.
Well, why does he have to resign? Why can't he do both?
He cannot run both at the same time because the law, according to the Civil Service Code of Conduct, he is not allowed to contest an election being a civil servant. He has to resign before contesting an election. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Amida, question?
If you want to check on YouTube for explanation again, how do you check it?
Explanation or the video?
Yes, the video.
And they are going to post it after this class. It's been recorded. As soon as it's done, they'll post it on YouTube for you. Okay?
Thank you,
Yes, Abdul Latif. Abdul Latif.
Sir.
Yeah, you raised your hand.
No, sir.
I'm seeing your hand raised here. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
How you doing, you guys?
Someone you're not okay because you're muted.
It's actually muted. Eh?
Even though.
Don't worry, I'll mute
sure
her now.
No, sir. Sir, please, don't mute me.
Jamil, you asked a question. Jamil, did you ask a question? I see you are raising your hand.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Huh? I'm listening.
Sir, wants to pass the election back to his old job.
No, as far as you have resigned your position and gone into you have resigned your post as a civil servant, you cannot go back. Okay, you have resigned finally. You cannot go back.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Salma, question? Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, sir, let's say the policeman, he has already resigned his post, but he don't now win the election. Can he still go back to the same post, or he has to start again from scratch?
No, he has resigned finally. He cannot go back.
So is it composed that if you resign, you cannot go back, or if you resign, you can never go back again?
If you resign, you voluntarily resigned and moved into politics.
So what if someone? What if
The government did not sack you. You resigned. I don't want to work again, no. And I want to go into politics. You resigned your government post and go into politics.
So what if you're fired and you go to another post? Like, let's say, for example, now you're fired from a police job. Can you go to another place and become a police agent?
It's not possible to. What made him to be fired? He has committed an offense, right? Something must warrant his sacking. So if he has committed an offense, has tarnished his image or his record, so he cannot go back. It will be a criminal offense. Okay? Salma, you're asking a question? Yes, I'm listening.
Sir, let's say that so you got fired, but it's not like your fault. Someone framed you. They now find out the correct person. What if your boss does not hire you back? Has your boss committed like anything bad?
Yeah,
Like,
after investigations and they found out that the person is not guilty, he can be restated or compensated otherwise. Okay, because
but what
he's
if your
not
boss
guilty.
does not hire you back because he wants to keep all the money to himself?
It's not possible now. There's an inquiry, a panel of inquiry, and the panel of inquiry will give their recommendations. Okay.
Okay.
Omena.
Sir.
Questions?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, guys. Hoping to see you next week by the grace of God.
Bye.
All right. Remember
Yes,
to read your book, study for your exams, and have a splendid weekend.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye, all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care. Be good boys and girls.
Okay, sir.
Because it's going.
Bye.
Let's not start meeting again.
Hello. Good afternoon. Yeah, Jamal. How are you? We'll work on that, don't worry. Yes.